All right, should we write some music?
Yeah, she says it so like it's so simple. Yeah. Hey, write a hit song.
Ever wonder how your favorite celebrities live?
You say zebra, I say zebra, let's call the whole thing off.
Now we are getting the keys and unlocking these jaw-dropping secrets inside the most incredible celebrity homes in America. I'm Andrea Boehlke. Come join me. This is Celebrity Homes Unlocked. After crisscrossing my way around the country, today I find myself in the picturesque mountains of upstate New York to spend the day with Nigel and Crissy Barker. You'll remember Nigel as a judge and photographer on the iconic series America's Next Top Model. Equally talented is his wife Crissy, whose modeling and yoga with her identical twin sister has taken the internet by storm. I'm so excited to pop in for a day with this power couple and their 2 teenage children.
Hi there, how are you?
Hi,
Welcome to the
nice
Barkers.
to meet
No,
you.
pleasure.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome to Woodstock.
Thanks for having me. What are you guys up to?
We're just about to make some pancakes with the
I haven't
kids.
breakfast yet.
It's
so
our
let's do
Saturday
it.
ritual.
So we have the giant family. Our kids are all enormous, so we had to have a relatively large house in order to just accommodate the 4 of us. And when I first started making pancakes, I had no idea, being an Englishman, never made pancakes in my life. Now it is literally my job to make pancakes, although they help.
took it over.
I took it over.
Jack, get the banana. I can start mashing.
Yeah, mash up the banana.
Should I get a little apron for you?
Oh yes, I love it.
So they're always kind of banana-ish, so we don't do plain ones really ever. And then I'll do the whisking. All right, I need some eggs, so Jazz, want to put a couple of eggs in here? Don't mess that one up, man. Wow! Round of applause. Woo! There you go. Look. One of the reasons why we moved upstate was to slow life down.
Yeah.
You know, that it's, you know, life is still busy, but small moments like making pancakes, it sounds so simple. But those things where we bond, we're together, we're in the kitchen, we're laughing, we're goofing off, we're just telling old stories. That's how I grew up. I grew up with my mother showing me how to cook with my grandmother in the kitchen and making curries, making breakfast. And it's those meal times and around meal times, even the washing up, dishwashing, it's all a part of the fun and a part of the family time. So that's why we sort of came up here to make pancakes.
Pancake day.
Wow.
Cheers. Cheers.
Right away, I can tell this family is all about style. With a belly full of homemade pancakes, I am ready for the tour.
Should we show you around the house?
Yes, let's
Go
do
for
it. Enough
Alrighty.
eating pancakes.
So, let's sort of, we start down here. It's kind of a fun little moment as you walk in. I wanted to show you these statues that I actually had made that are of Crissy and her sister Kimmy, and it's of a photograph that I took. And I love it when you can actually take art, something that you've made, a photograph, and actually translate it multiple times in multiple ways in the house. So as soon as you enter, we get these sort of lovely busts that are of my wife and my sister-in-law.
These are beautiful. Which one's your wife?
Well, in the photograph, she would be that one, and her sister was that one, but they are, as you can see, pretty much identical.
Yes.
So here we go, into the living room, and this whole floor, as you can tell, the color scheme in here is very sort of muted tones, natural earth tones, whites, off-whites. We even whitewashed the ceiling. The idea being, for me, and we did this in our New York apartment too, was that to have a blank canvas. When you're in the woods and you're just out and about, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of color, there's a lot of visual stimulus. And so to come in and have something that's going to calm you down, that's going to not be overload you. So for me, that's what this room is. It's very sort of simple. A lot happens in here. And I think too, one of the reasons why we love this particular house is because that unlike so many houses in the area where there are lots of rooms, this house was big open plan spaces.
I love being in the kitchen and not feeling like I'm alone. So now everybody's together no matter what you're doing.
And interestingly enough, there's no cabinetry on the walls up here in the kitchen. One of the nice things about that is sometimes when you're in a house that has, say, the kitchen in this living room, like this open space, you kind of feel like you're always in the kitchen. But because there is no cabinetry and we put art on the wall, when you're sitting down and you look across, visually you don't see necessarily kitchen immediately, you kind of blends in better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and in here too, just to sort of lighten up this room, we whitewashed the ceiling. And you take a bit of a risk when you do something like that because it's hard to, once you whitewash wood, there's no going back, without sanding the whole thing down. And then even then, you're probably not going to get away with it. But it worked. It looked really nice. We wanted to open the space up. You'll see too in the ceilings everywhere, right above you, for example, we use gloss paint. We didn't use matte paint. And the guys who were painting our house said, really, well, why would you put gloss? People put gloss on the doors. But because the shine causes reflection and makes it look bigger and makes it look grander, versus it being matte and sort of a flat look. So there are certain little subtleties that you will notice as you go through the house, which we decided to bring from our city apartment to a country house. When we got this, I immediately thought, well, I want to make it a little bit more French farm, a bit like with the subway tiles. So I actually painted the legs white and painted the undercarriage of it white too. So the little things you can do to, things like tables and chairs that you can buy anywhere to make them your own.
You do everything. I didn't even realize you had a furniture line.
We have a furniture line. In fact, right here, you're looking at it. This is the NB2 collection, and it is based on my New York living, my New York apartment. It did the muted tones. When we go upstairs, you'll see the NB1 collection, which is really bohemian and much more rich in color. The day bed, which is really more the dog bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does the dog come with the furniture?
Yeah, Memphis is a big fan.
We have to fight for that spot.
But all these pieces, and as you'll see in here, it's both comfortable, but it's quite elegant too. This is actually a painting that we always talk about this. People always wonder what it is and guess what it is. But it's a girl that I photographed for Make-A-Wish, who had a brain cancer, and actually she painted it, and it is her brain cancer. And she had this gallery exhibition, and I bought this, and I've had it over my, I guess in every apartment, every house, I've had it over the television. And I look at it every single day, and it just reminds me of the extraordinary courage that these children at Make-A-Wish have. And I've been a wish granter there for almost 15 years now.
That's incredible.
One of the things you'll see in the house, it's a mix of old and new. So for example, this statue here comes from Crissy's family, and they've had it in their family for, I don't know, at least 50 years.
Oh, at least.
You'll see old photographs, and it's in the background. So it's a kind of it's fun to have the
family heirlooms.
Yeah, and scattered through, you're going to find little moments like that. In fact, if we go through here, so this is a really fun little moment we have going on here. We have a picture wall that I started first of all in New York City, and it's of our family. And as I mentioned, I'm from England. Crissy's from Alabama. She's also part Chinese. I'm also part Sri Lankan. Because we're so far away from our homes and our families, it's so lovely to have this constant memory when every time you walk through here, some picture will pop out at you, and obviously fills a nice big piece of the wall up too. So it's always kind of nice to do. You don't have to have a huge piece of art. You can make a huge piece of art from lots of small pieces, and priceless memories though.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this is my mother.
Who painted this?
Which is kind of fun. It's actually a very famous painter who paints the English royal family. He's dead now, but he painted all the English kings and queens for the past sort of 100 years. And my mother actually sat for him.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but we've never known where to put it because for some reason it looks like my mother's always looking at you. And so
no matter where you are.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things.
She can see you.
No matter where it is.
In New York, we had a small apartment, and I would joke I can't escape.
Yeah.
There I am.
And I'd come
Grandma's looking at me.
I'd run down in my boxer shorts like, sorry, Mum.
All right, should we go upstairs?
Let's go upstairs.
Was it your plan all along to make each level a different vibe?
Sort of, kind of, not exactly. I think it sort of evolved and happened. I think that's often the case. People, don't necessarily always plan out everything. I like to think sometimes the best way to plan a room is with a signature piece of furniture, and then it kind of builds around it. Like you get something and it happens. In this room, there's a fun piece.
What's the signature piece? Because I know what it is.
Signature piece is this table.
The yellow table. He had this when I met him.
So I bought this table when I was 18 years old. It's the very first piece of furniture I bought. My first paycheck, I went to a place called India Jane's in London and got this table, and it stuck out to me. It was hand painted and it was beautiful. And obviously my love of furniture and style design happened at a very early age.
Your first paycheck. check. You decided to buy a table.
This is what he does.
I highly recommend it.
It's interior design.
To everybody out there, and this is something about our travel journeys too, as you look around this room, there's so much stuff from all over the world, and all over the house you'll find that, is, you know, spend your money wisely, but get key signature pieces that you collect over time. And you know, you'll put a house together. You can always tell someone's house which has been put together instantly, where it's all been bought at once. It has a look and a feel, it doesn't feel lived in. This has knocks, bangs, you know, we've wrapped rubber around this when the kids were, this used to be our only table. I've eaten at this table. You know, it's now, you know, there's so much that's happened, and then everything has a story. And I think that's when a house is can be both beautiful but lived in.
Reminds me of a table that I have from one of my exes. I still have it.
Nice.
Like, I just collect my furniture from my ex-boyfriend.
And then there's that. Yeah.
That's my decorating
Well
style.
done.
Perfect.
I'm glad you got the
perfect.
table.
Well, this rug you're standing on is actually, I bought that whilst shooting America's Next Top Model in Morocco. And I actually brought this back as hand luggage.
Hand luggage.
Wrapped
Oh
it
my
up, and
God.
the thing weighs up almost
So
over
heavy.
100 pounds.
Well, each piece seems to have its own story, which is beautiful.
does.
This reading nook here is kind of fun. So when we came to the house, there was, obviously this wasn't built out. It was just a whole, you know, a nook.
An alcove.
An alcove, and this piece of wood here is actually a piece of ceiling that fell in an earthquake in Rajasthan in India. And when we brought it over, people were turning them into tables like that. But instead of making it into a table, because it was an end piece, we turned it and obviously made it into the side here, and then built out the wood and had this custom cushion put in, and turned it into a little reading nook. And clearly the lighting is super important. We've got all these Moroccan lamps. You know, it just brings this all to life.
Who's better at chess?
Oh, definitely Nigel. He's the big chess guy.
And that's a part of my MB1 collection, the chess table.
Okay.
So there's all this furniture here. And then we have the bar, so hence we keep it up here on the adult level. Now I've got a rather extensive bar, as you can tell, and we have some vinyl records that we like to sit and listen to. And oftentimes what we'll do is we'll have our dinner parties downstairs with our friends. The kids will go down to the basement, which we'll visit after this, and we come up here. And so the adults will put some music on, have
Light
a cocktail,
candles.
chill
This
out.
is the adults' floor.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Very adult floor.
Nigel and Crissy have so many incredible pieces from their travels all over the world. Everywhere I look, there's something fascinating to see and a story behind it.
This dragon is inspired by a letter opener that I had with a dragon on the end of the letter holder, and I wanted to make it into something more substantial because I always loved it. And actually, we turned it into something which is about 100 times bigger than the original, and it's one of my favorite pieces, but it's brand new and it's part of my collection.
And this is a kimono that we got in Japan.
In Japan, yeah.
Filming this top model.
Yeah, and this is another America's Next Top Model. So you'll see, like, funny enough, one of the great things about shooting Top Model was the travel we got to do all over the world. And everywhere we went, instead of kind of getting the small knick-knack things, we made a sort of pact with one another that we wouldn't buy the little trinkets too much, and that we would invest in something substantial, that we would bring back one piece of art, one sculpture, one something, so that there was something really big and important.
One carpet.
One rug, whatever it might
Are
be.
you too prone to just coming back with tons of trinkets?
Well, aren't most people, you know?
Yeah.
That's, I think, so many of us go and buy, like, you know,
A fan or
all the fun little silly
pot,
things.
yeah.
And we did that as kids. And when you start to build a house, and these pictures, for example, actually come from the World's Fair from the turn of the century, and they're Crissy's family.
From my grandparents.
From her grandparents. Let me show you the bedroom. This is our master bedroom. And you know, we're up here on our own floor, so we feel rather spoiled that we've got so much space.
And this was originally just like a TV room when
Yeah.
we bought the house, because the master bedroom was downstairs. So we really converted this so we would have our own level, our privacy, and then there was an attic off of it, and we converted that into the bathroom.
Into a bathroom. But this blue in here is nice and muted and soft.
I always wanted a blue room, a blue bedroom.
You know, and it's just fun, comfy room. As you can see, we've got a lot of places to sit. And all over the house, you'll find seats everywhere. Because I'll love to, as Memphis will model for you, there are many places to sit in this house.
Memphis is just showing off all the different places.
He is. He's
Okay,
like-
good. Now we know we can sit there.
He's got
Yes.
the best spots.
He's like, sit like this.
And I mean, looking right outside right here is just so wonderful and calming too, because you just have the forest right there.
It is calming. It's calming until you go into our bathroom.
Okay. Walking into the bedroom, I'm struck by the calm and serene atmosphere, but I was not prepared for what I would see next. Oh no.
Oh yes.
Explain yourself.
Every room needs a place for a good selfie.
Okay.
And what could be better for a selfie than to have your own chair?
That is true.
Joking aside, one of my great friends, fashion designer Pamela Rowland, for my 40th birthday, wondered what she could give me. She saw this picture of me and she had it made into a chair. Oh. Now, we used to have this chair as a joke in our guest bedroom, but our friends would take selfies with it.
It was abused.
It started to get abused.
Wow. I mean, it's a great picture.
Feel free to try it out.
You too can have a selfie with the chair.
Yeah, be careful, you don't have to sit on it. She got a little scared, didn't she? Okay, as we're having so much fun and games, let me take you down to the basement.
That's where the real fun
happens.
Both levels of the Barker house have spared no design detail, and I'm excited to check out the final space in this cozy mountain home.
So welcome to the basement, the bear cave.
Well, he wanted to name it the man cave.
Oh no.
And then Jasmine and I were like,
no.
Girls are down here too. We can call it the bear cave.
Absolutely, which is full of all our fun things that we like to do. We have a big TV screen where the kids can either play games or we can sit and have a movie night. These are pictures that I took of Central Park. And it's funny, so people wonder what to do and like, oh, I don't take great pictures, or I don't. You'd be surprised when you want to do something fun. It doesn't have to be a great picture. Like this shot here is of a zebra crossing, as you say in the US.
Crosswalk. Is this Empire State?
Nope, this is a close-up of the Rockefeller Center. But literally a close-up.
So
and
you
it's
took
just
an existing
windows.
photograph and zoomed in.
So when you do something and you cut in tight, this is actually the Brooklyn Bridge. But it's only a slice of the cables. But it becomes art when you zoom in and you just get a section of it. And if you think about how clever they are about when they, anything, any great brickwork, any great stonework, any great wire work, there's so much attention to detail. And we often look at things in a grand way, at the big picture, but I love to go into the details and the wide shot. Details, wide shot, and by doing that in the house too, we bring a piece of New York with us, but it doesn't feel too New Yorky.
Yeah, I'm getting so many ideas and inspiration. Like I can do that.
Oh, it's so easy.
Look, this is literally the ground, the floor in the meatpacking district. This is, and it's just a photograph of it, and then put it here, but it creates a nice pattern.
Yeah. So what did you call this?
That is, it's a crosswalk.
We call them crosswalks.
Well, what do you call them?
A zebra crossing because of the stripes, the black and white.
Zebra. Okay.
AKA zebra.
You say zebra, I say zebra. Let's call the whole thing off.
Show her your blanket, honey. And it was a shot of the New York skyline, and he did a slow exposure.
Long exposure, but this is a negative. So this is, instead of like when you have a film, you have negative and positive. So when you print from it, this is what it would look like as a print. And actually, if you see that photograph there, that's it in color.
Yeah.
So you see all the stripes in color. But if you make it black and white and you do the reverse, that's what it looks like. And I like it because it looks like the DNA, like a DNA strand.
Yeah. It's so cool because this is not super expensive.
No,
it's a picture that, I mean, obviously you're a professional photographer, but anyone could take a picture, put it on a pillow, a blanket.
Absolutely. I think that's the joy of decorating and design, is that oftentimes people get wrapped up in things have to be perfect, things have to be, you have to be an artist, but there is an artist in everybody, and it's about things that matter to you. So this actually comes from my New York studio, and I didn't know what to do with my old desks and what have you, and I used to actually sit here with my loupe looking at my photographs and my light pad to look at all my negatives. And when we left, of course, we don't do that anymore, and I had this great piece of wood, and I thought, well, instead of just throwing it away or not knowing what to do with it, I'll use it as the sink top. So we sanded it down, cut it out, and it's in here. So every time I see this, it reminds me of 20 years of editing film in New York City.
Who's better at ping pong?
Me or you?
I think Miss Competitive and you need to have a little round.
Why, are you good at ping pong?
I'm not very good.
Ooh, you're good.
You want to
Sure, I'll say. Oh, I didn't know that Memphis came down here.
Oh, where is he?
Oh my God! Oh, that was cheating!
Good game, guys. Good game.
Now, meet Rocky. Rocky the iguana. So Rocky is Jack's iguana, and he is a Cuban rock iguana. And we had this cage made by custom cages, specially built for him. And it's one of my photographs in the background of Joshua Tree.
Wow.
And Rocky is a vegetarian, aren't you, Rocky? So although he might bite my finger, he won't eat it.
How old is he? He's about 4.
Yeah.
And he was tiny when Nigel and Jack got
Yeah,
him.
we could fit in our hand. And here's our pool room. So we have, these are all photographs from New York City that we, shot whilst we were living there. And it's fun to have these sort of picture walls, again, like the picture wall upstairs. This one's a little, obviously eclectic and different, but it's little vignettes, little moments, everything from literally someone's garage door where someone had graffitied New York City to the actual skyline. And there's a lot of memories. As you can see, I like to use a lot of blur in my pictures because it helps create the dream state. I often feel that within New York City, so much of what I remember would be returning late at night in a cab, rain on the window, half tired, half looking out the window, and things would be a blur rushing past you. So how do I replicate that feel, that vibe? And you'll see it in a lot of my pictures where there's lots of streaks of light and looking through fences, things blurry, so you get an aspect of it. So you feel the movement and you feel the nostalgia.
Did you take that picture?
I took all the pictures.
So we knew we wanted to do some large photographs, and he's been taking pictures for decades, so we wanted to come up with a theme. And we're in the country now, so let's rope in kind of like an animal model theme.
For us, it brings our history, it brings everything we remember, the big photo shoots, the TV shows we've worked on, and it just reminds us of it. But ultimately, living in the countryside is about being outside, so we should probably just take you outside.
Yes.
Want to come and see our treehouse? We've got something rather special.
Ooh. Nigel said the word treehouse, and I am all in. After all, we are in the mountains.
Well, I'll walk you up to the treehouse, which is built for the kids, but really more for the adults.
When did you build the treehouse?
When they were very little, so when we first moved here 5 years ago. There it is, it's rather sort of grand with this rather impressive walkway. But one of the fun things about building a treehouse like this is if you have a yard and you have an extensive garden and woodlands, oftentimes you'll just sit and look at them. But by building into the actual garden and into the woods, you start to take advantage of all your space.
Yeah, I think I get why you guys left New York City.
Come in, let's have a look. So we built this with the idea that the kids would have a little escape, but to be honest with you, I think we like to escape in here more than the kids do. It's a perfect place for a little getaway.
On our walk up to the treehouse, I thought I saw a zip line, and I'm not leaving here without giving it a try. You two are crazy.
Yeah.
In the best way.
Like I said, we built this for the children. Clearly.
Okay, and jump onto it.
And then you want to sit on that.
All right, ready?
Ready? When you are.
Woo!
There she goes! Woohoo! Kick off, kick off, kick off! Boom!
Oh,
You got it! There you go.
Fun!
Wow, you're a pro.
Okay, Nigel, your turn.
It never gets old. Okay.
We're here for you. Oh, yeah, look at that tag.
Kick it, honey, kick the tree!
I hear it breaking, cracking.
Well, this was incredible. I think it's time to do some yoga.
Should we take her to our favorite photo spot?
Are you ready for your close-up?
I'm ready. She's ready.
Let's do this.
She's done the zip line. I think she could do just about anything.
Okay, here we go, people.
Our final destination on the New York tour was to tackle some yoga at the Cooper Lake Reservoir. This place is stunning.
So here you are.
Welcome to Cooper Lake.
This is gorgeous.
I know, right? So you know that I take pictures of the Chin Twins all over the world in exotic locations. They don't always have to be exotic. Some are in literally our backyard. And look at this spectacular view.
This is gorgeous.
Right in our backyard. So just beautiful, it's breathtaking. We shoot here all the time. And I'm gonna take some pictures of Crissy and perhaps you'll jump in a moment.
Okay.
I need a twin.
I'm gonna watch you work
I need a
first.
twin.
Come on, let's
This
warm
only
it up.
works
Let's
with two
warm it up.
people.
How often do you come out and shoot?
We shoot
As
probably.
much as we can.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I need my
I
twin
think you need to get in there
Okay.
too. Come on.
Well, you tell me how this works.
Okay, let's do dancer pose.
Okay.
And the beautiful thing about shooting with a partner is we can use each other for support.
All right.
So we're gonna do dancer pose. Let's
link with our inner arms. Perfect. So the trick is to have equal pressure. So you're gonna feel me pushing on you. You push right back on me. There you go. Oh my God! We're wobbling.
Okay.
We're wobbling.
I got it. I got it.
Yay! How about a hand to foot?
Okay.
So we can either do the small of our backs or we can link up top. Maybe this is probably good. So let's hold. So let's leave a little space because we're probably gonna lean in. And we're gonna use your 2 fingers, grab your big toe.
Okay.
So let's first extend forward, show our dirty feet. Now let's rotate out.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Looking out, and I got it.
Kimmy might be replaced. I have a new chin
There
twin.
you go, that's cute there. Beautiful, and you come in for this beauty shot.
Let's do prayer hands.
Gorgeous ladies, thank you very much.
That was really fun.
And that, as we say, is a wrap.
From pancakes to dancer pose and even a zip line, my day with Nigel and Crissy was full of fun surprises. That's a wrap. Until next time.